Well, good morning, and I'd like to welcome you all to Bruce Power on a sunny, slightly warm day. My name is Pat Dalzell. I'm the head of corporate affairs here at Bruce Power. I'd like to start today by acknowledging that the Bruce site is located in the traditional territories of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation and the harvesting territories of the historic Saugeen Métis and the Métis Nation of Ontario. Bruce Power is committed to meaningful partnership and collaboration, creating economic development opportunities and employment opportunities for our Indigenous communities. And I'd like to thank the members of the First Nations and Métis communities who are here with us today. And with that, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Ontario's Minister of Energy, the Honourable Todd Smith, to the podium to make a very special announcement.
Well, thanks so much, Pat. What a beautiful day, my goodness, and what a great crowd. Great looking crowd, too. Dave Butters, nice hat. Hey? Well prepared for the day, well prepared for the day. It's great to be here. I want to thank Pat again, who does such a great job here at Bruce Power, along with Mike. Mike, thanks for the welcome here today. Mike Renchek, of course, CEO of Bruce Power. And good morning to everyone. Before we begin, I just wanted to provide my condolences to Chief Veronica Smith, who I had the opportunity to talk to last week and meet with about 3 weeks ago, and the Chippewas of Nawash Unceded First Nation. They're grieving the loss of two community members today, and I just wanted to take a moment to send our thoughts out to them. I know Chief Smith had hoped to be here today, but she's taking the time to be with her community, which is very, very important, obviously, and our thoughts and prayers are with the families and the community there as well. And I know Chief Ritchie also sends his regrets today. Again, it is great to be here in the clean energy frontier on a beautiful sunny day for a very, very exciting announcement. I see we've got Kincardine Mayor Ken Craig here as well, Saugeen Shores Mayor Luc Charbonneau, my colleagues from Queen's Park, Minister Lisa Thompson and MPP Rick Byers, and my parliamentary assistant as well, who came all the way from where the sun rises in Ontario, in Eastern Ontario, Glengarry Prescott Russell. He's my parliamentary assistant, Stefan Sarazan. Thanks for coming. As many of you know, this is no surprise at all, Ontario is growing, and it's growing quickly. Over the past 5 years, our government has worked extremely hard to make Ontario the best place to create jobs and build the industries of the future. We've reduced electricity rates, we've lowered taxes, we've cut a lot of red tape, and we've seen investment flow into the province as a result. Ontario is quickly becoming a leader in building electric vehicles and batteries, with historic investments from Stellantis in Windsor to Volkswagen in St. Thomas to Umicore in my neck of the woods in Eastern Ontario in Loyalist Township. And we're working with the steel industry as well to end the use of coal and electrify their operations to support the production of green steel in Hamilton and in Sault Ste. Marie, fueling our growing automotive sector. As a result, for the first time since 2005, a long time ago, Ontario's electricity demand is rising, and it's rising fast. The 5 investments that I just mentioned alone are going to increase annual electricity demand by 8 terawatt hours a year. Just to put that into perspective, that's the equivalent to the annual electricity consumption of the Ottawa region. But that's not all. Our government also has a plan to build 1.5 million new homes, as Ontario's population is expected to grow by 2 million people by the end of this decade. And the families and businesses are increasingly making the switch to EVs, electric vehicles, leveraging our world-class clean electricity system to reduce emissions. With all of this growth underway, our government's focused on ensuring the continued availability of reliable, affordable, and clean electricity. And the really good news is that we're already on track to acquire the resources that we need to power economic growth and increase electrification through 2030. We're building on Ontario, Canada, and the G7's first grid-scale small modular reactor. We've invested $342 million to expand energy efficiency programs. And we just finished a very successful first round of the largest clean energy storage procurement in Canada's history. But we've got to look ahead. We've got to look to the future. We know we need to act today to ensure that we can continue to power Ontario's growth through the 2030s and the 2040s. In fact, the experts at Ontario's Independent Electricity System Operator recommend the province start the development of long lead assets like nuclear power to do exactly that. And where better to start than a community like this one? You know, Bruce County, that's already providing about 30% of Ontario's electricity supply and wants and is looking to do more. That's why today I'm really pleased to announce that our government is working with Bruce Power to start pre-development work to site the first large-scale nuclear build in Ontario in over 3 decades. So what does this mean? It means Bruce Power is going to start community consultations. They're going to conduct the environmental assessment for federal approval to determine the feasibility of siting up to 4,800 megawatts of new nuclear generation on this current site here in Bruce County. And just to put that into perspective, that's enough new generation to power 4.8 million homes. This process is going to include significant public input and consultations with Indigenous communities, including the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, who I know is a critical partner to the folks here at Bruce Power, and is a prerequisite for the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission's multi-stage licensing process. Overall, a large-scale new nuclear reactor project could require a lead time of a decade or more from the start of federal approvals to deployment. Initiating this early planning is going to ensure that the province has a reliable, low-cost, and clean option ready and available here at Bruce Power to power the next major international investment, the new homes that are being built in the province, and industries and sectors across the province as they grow and look to electrify. I hope to work with Minister Wilkinson, the federal minister, and the federal government to clarify and reduce the timelines, minimize the inefficiencies and duplication in the federal government's major project reviews so that we can get this work done quickly and efficiently with the local communities here in Bruce County. And I know that we both agree, the federal government and the Ontario government, that new nuclear generation is going to be critical to building the clean grid of the future to support electrification and growth. But our government also recognizes how this work could build on the incredible economic opportunity that already exists here in Bruce County. A new nuclear station could create thousands of new jobs and generate billions of dollars in economic activity across the province for decades to come, while helping to reduce emissions and further Ontario's clean electricity advantage that we already enjoy. I look forward to getting this work started with our partners as part of our government's larger plan to prepare for electricity demand in the 2030s and 2040s that will build on Ontario's clean energy advantage and ensure the province has the power we need to maintain our position as a leader in job creation and a magnet for the industries of the future. While I'll have more to say on that larger plan a little bit later on this week and next week, I'm going to turn it over to Mike Rencheck, Bruce Power's president and CEO, and he'll tell you a little bit more about the work that Bruce Power is going to be undertaking. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? It's a great day, isn't it?
Great day to be a
Great day in Bruce County for sure, and a special thank you to all of you joining us. A special thank you to Minister Smith, to Minister Thompson,
He
brain
usually calls
done.
me Lisa.
Sorry, I always say Lisa. I didn't want to say that. So, Mr. Thompson, MPP Byers, Mayor Craig, thank you so much for being here. And I am so excited today. So I just can't tell you how great of a day this is for Bruce County, for Bruce Power. You see, we've been underway now with our life extension program, but what has enabled that to happen is stable long-term energy policy. That stable policy enables investments like we're making here at Bruce Power to extend the life of our units all the way out to 2064. Not only that, we're power uprating our units from 6,300 megawatts will be at least 7,000 megawatts by 2030. And we've also been able to advance life-saving medical isotopes. We're impacting people all over the world. In sterilization, we presently sterilize 40% of the once-use medical devices around the world with isotopes that we make. We treat brain tumors, we treat breast cancer, we treat prostate cancer, and we're working on new isotopes that'll treat liver cancer and other forms of that deadly, deadly disease. It also expands economic development. With our life extension program, we're contributing about $4 billion in GDP to Ontario, about 22,000 direct and indirect jobs. We have over 1,000 companies throughout Ontario and throughout Canada working here on our life extension program. And with this announcement today, it continues that trend of long-term thinking, long-term policy that enables us to plan for the future. We're so excited to be able to start planning for that long-term future of clean, reliable, and affordable electricity here at the Bruce site. With the minister's announcement, we'll get started working with the federal government on the impact assessment process, with all of our communities in the area, the municipalities, the Saugeen Ojibwa Nation, the Métis Nation of Ontario, the historic Saugeen Métis. We want to make sure we're doing this in partnership and collaboration for the long term. And it's that long-term view of being able to provide energy security with a made in Canada and a made in Ontario solution that I think drives us. As we look at the existing plants operating all the way to 2064, adding new facilities to this site would extend that well into the future. We couldn't do this without our owners, so OMERS, TC Energy, the Power Workers Union, the Society of United Professionals, and all of our employees. And we couldn't do this without the support of our unions, the building trades, the Power Workers Union, the Society of United Professionals, the United Steelworkers, all of our suppliers, and I see many of them here today, our municipalities, and our Indigenous communities. I want to say thank you for coming out in the numbers today. Your show of support for this project, I think, is encouraging for everyone in our community, for everyone in Ontario, and we look forward to delivering the results over the many years to come. Thank you for your attendance today, and now I'll invite Mayor Craig to say a few words. Mayor.
Thank you. Good job.
Good morning and welcome. Well, I was about 10 years old when our community began to hear some construction that was going on down at the point. Needless to say, that was the start of the nuclear industry in what is now the municipality of Kincardine. And the effect of that construction project over the last 55 years has been the driving economic force of our shoreline communities, particularly here in Kinloss, Saugeen Shores, and the municipality of Kincardine. And more recently, with the multiple component replacement project, it has extended that economic stimulus both regionally and provincially. And for these, we have been grateful for both the challenges and the outcomes. Here in the municipality of Kincardine, there is strong support for nuclear energy. Our community knows that it helps protect the air quality by producing carbon-free electricity, and we do see it as a path forward to help our province reach its electrification and energy transition goals. The announcement today of this next logical step forward, and I have to tell you that the local mayors in the last 6 to 8 months have been quietly contemplating and thinking and expressing that, you know, this Bruce site is the logical place for this expansion of the nuclear fleet. This announcement today is an expression by our provincial government that they are ready to fulfill their role in expanding electrical generation capacity. And more importantly, from a local context, it is an opportunity for our local governments to say that we are also ready to take on the responsibility of fulfilling our particular role in the production of long-term, stable, clean, and affordable electricity. Thank you to Minister Smith and his colleagues for bringing forward and announcing this initiative. Thanks are extended to Bruce Power CEO Mike Rencheck and his team for their investments in our communities, and I'm sure the list is longer. Mike expressed his appreciation to all the other partners and subcontractors, and I would just make a fool of myself if I tried to say that list because I don't know them all, but Mike expressed that very well. But you see, the important part of those thank yous is that none of us could have done this by ourselves. We will be better because we're doing it together. So it's now my privilege to introduce our MPP for Huron-Bruce, the Honourable Lisa Thompson, Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs. Also, while she's coming, I have a little story. And Lisa was just, oh my gosh. And I asked permission before I told this. Kincardine Council was invited to a photo opportunity with Minister Thompson at the gateway to the Inverhuron Park, where she was announcing some funding to the park. And as the meeting was coming to a conclusion, Minister Thompson said, well, I think there'll be another little economic development announcement being made in the future. And I'm thinking, right on, we're going to get $50,000 for the library, or we're going to get $20,000 for a community park. Well done, Lisa. And whoa, you are good at keeping secrets, my lady, I'll tell you. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, Mayor Craig. And you know what? As the local MPP for Huron-Bruce, which is home to Bruce Power, it is just a thrill to be with all of you today. And ladies and gentlemen, Mike isn't wrong. I pride myself in being able to go around this riding and be introduced or say, or hear, there's Lisa. Because that's who I am. We're local. And on behalf of Rick Byers, to Stefan and to Minister Todd, and on behalf of Mayor Craig and CEO Mike, welcome to the Bruce, gentlemen. This is where it's at. And I'm sincere in saying this is where it is. This is where it's at. Because for generations, ladies and gentlemen, we all know, those of us that have grown up here, we know and appreciate the benefits of reliable and clean energy. Growing up, Thompson meant visiting with family at cottages south of Kincardine. And my questions that I was asked as a child would be, how many Lakers did you see out on the horizon today? And could you see Douglas Point? Because you know how clear it is if you could see Douglas Point very clearly. And now the light is shining even brighter on Bruce Power, how many decades later? And it is very clear to me here today, and to all of you, I'm sure, that this is the route to growth in terms of sustainability when it comes to our energy production that we need across this province. Ladies and gentlemen, growing up, Thompson also meant coming to visit Kincardine on Friday nights once in a while. And I remember when Kincardine was very quiet. And I can tell you that I am so proud to work with Minister Todd Smith and to work with Premier Ford to put our absolute unconditional support behind nuclear energy, because just look at what has happened over the last 10, 20 years in terms of the economic spin-offs that have happened in Bruce County, in Huron County, and Grey County, and beyond. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to wrap up by saying we believe in the importance of nuclear energy because it is clean and it is reliable, and it helps make energy affordable in this province of Ontario. And we believe in the team here at Bruce Power as well. And I might suggest to you, sincerely, it's generational, this belief. I was last week spinning around attending elementary and high school graduations, and the top 3 vocations, if you will, that our graduates are pursuing. It doesn't matter where you were in the region or what school you were at. It was health services, trades, and I'm not making this up, agriculture. So that warms my heart as well. But ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing here today with this announcement is absolutely making sure that for generations to come, Ontario will be benefiting from an amazing source of energy that we all have grown up in and we believe in. Thanks for being here.
All right, we are now going to take questions from media. So media will be asked to come to the microphone here behind the cameras. We'll ask you to introduce yourself, one question and one follow-up. First question.
Hi, I'm Liz Dasden with the Kincardine Record. I want to ask about Pickering, which I know we're not talking about Pickering or anything, Darlington or anything here today, but what, I understand there is refurbishment going on there. How is that going to affect this project, or are you still going to refurbish Pickering?
Yeah, so the plan is to refurbish Pickering, but we're waiting for the CNSC and OPG to come back with a feasibility study. We've extended the Pickering plant to help meet our needs in the short term until the fall of 2026. OPG has made that application to the CNSC for approval to extend through to the fall of 2026. And then OPG will be reporting back to me later this year to talk about the feasibility study and the options available to potentially refurbish the Pickering site. If we do refurbish Pickering, that's another 2,200 megawatts that will be added to the grid in Ontario, and that's enough power to power a lot of the GTA for sure. So while we are looking at definitely refurbishing Pickering, obviously expanding here on site with potentially another 4,800 megawatts is going to help us get to the resource capacity that we need. And again, Lisa hit it right on the head when she talked about the fact that this is dependable and reliable electricity that's there 24/7, 365 days a year. It's baseload power that you can count on to get us through all of the economic opportunities that are coming our way.
One follow-up?
Yep.
Would you be refurbishing all 8 reactors at Pickering?
No, absolutely not. No, we're looking at refurbishing Pickering B. Again, that would be about 22